Customization, transparency, profit. The HedgeBetter sports betting platform is a revolutionary concept that creates a competitive advantage for every party involved in the sports betting process. We are putting the odds in your hands, cutting out the middleman, and empowering a future generation of sports bettors. Look for the HedgeBetter sports betting platform coming in 2023. In the meantime, visit us at www.hedgebetter.com, follow us on Instagram at HedgeBetter, and subscribe to the HedgeBetter YouTube channel.
Back at it again, episode 79. Welcome to Steele and Nazz, presented by HedgeBetter, sponsored by Slide Edge Fitness and Performance out of Braintree and the law offices of Patrick J. Foley. Win a damn bet.
Struggling. It's tough out there.
Yeah, it's tough out here, one day after another. Big interview tonight with reoccurring guest, Dave Griffin. What an unbelievable job this kid has, gone through the process through Division III baseball up into minor league ball, getting called up to Double-A, which is a huge deal at Binghamton Ponies. We had him back on, kind of tell him of what he's kind of gone through and, how exciting that role was. And he got the opportunity to play in front of some friends and family over the weekend in Manchester.
Yeah, that's unreal. I mean, especially like the way that it kind of worked out like that, like to get the call up and then just like bang.
Yeah, for sure.
Home field and get everyone up there.
Just great stuff. Even, me being a baseball guy really puts in to show how much, work goes into it of, being able to get there and not settling for anything less than what you want. I think it's really cool. Afterwards, a big Celtics W in Game 7 over the Milwaukee Bucks on Sunday. We have your recap on that along with a big-time Miami Heat Celtics rematch in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep.
Big shout-out to Luka Doncic and Karen Jorgensen for your big 40-piece. I'll give you that. And
Sons of losers.
Yeah, and a tough Bruins Game 7 loss to the Carolina Hurricanes, which includes their season. Might conclude our favorite guy here, Patrice Bergeron's career. We'll give you our recap on that and with everything else going on in the NHL playoffs. We're going to bring it on as Dave Griffin joins the boys to discuss his career in minor league baseball. Just a warning, was a little bit technical difficulties, but we got the job done. Here we go with Dave Griffin. We're now brought on Hanover native recurring guest Dave Griffin, now in the New York Mets organization, Binghamton Double-A Ponies. Now, I said it before the call here. Just want to give you big congratulations for getting called to Double-A. What was the feeling right out of the chute here of getting the call? You've been battling single A, whether it was low A, high A. How great was that feeling? At least getting more up the totem pole here.
Yeah, it didn't hit me quite first. I had a day game earlier in the day that I pitched at. I wasn't too happy with how things went, and I was actually out on the field still talking to some fans and some friends. And my roommate came up to me and said, "Hey," he goes, "I think you're getting the call up." And I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Skip just said you and then two other guys that come to his office." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I went to his office. He told me the news and confirmed that I was going to Double-A. I was actually in shock for a bit. It didn't quite hit me until I was packing and all that stuff. And when I found out when I'd be throwing, my first start in Double-A was in Hartford at Dunkin' Donuts Park under the lights on a Saturday night. So that was a really cool.
Thrown right in there.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's great. You're playing local too. I saw you play. I didn't go, but you were playing the Fisher Cats the other night. I saw you had a bunch of friends and family there. That must have been great.
Yeah, actually, honestly, same stat line, which is what I wasn't too thrilled about. I mean, 3 2/3, 5 hits. Most of them were just soft contact that kind of bled through, and then 3 runs. And in Hartford, I think I had 6 strikeouts. In New Hampshire, I only had 2. So that's just kind of how it goes sometimes. But yeah, it's a bit of a jump from high A to Double-A for sure. Now it's a sink and swim at this point. So it's going to see what you're made of.
Now, even just your preparation going into the start, do you look more into the scouting reports than you would when you were in single A? Do you have more resources? And, maybe this 3 hitters coming up where I probably shouldn't throw them a fastball, low and in. I should kind of lean my way towards – I don't know your combinations here, but maybe change up low and away, something like that. Are you kind of mixing up more of, I got to stick more to a game plan than, kind of burning this guy?
Yeah, I'm still the new guy. Some of these guys have played some of these teams before. So going into it, I trust them on their advice. But obviously at the same time, too, I might be different than another guy. So, I mean, it's just kind of seeing, like, throughout the game, like, seeing how the hitter does a take, like, seeing, like, where they're stepping, where their hands load, stuff like that. Just kind of trying to watch it throughout the game as well. And even, like, the days leading up to my start, where if it's, like, if I'm throwing at the end of the series, trying to watch the games during the week, just try to see, like, what does some of the hitters do in certain counts situations and see how they get themselves out. I mean, I know I'm not going to throw fastballs by everybody. I mean, the guys are too good at this level where it doesn't matter 100 or 88, they're still going to hit the fastball. So you got to learn how to throw the changeup for a strike, the slider for a strike, how to move it just off the plate, how to make it look like a strike, so on and so forth.
How was the adjustment to like the new facilities, the new stadium, stuff like that? How did you like get back into your routine?
I mean, the stadiums themselves kind of felt like the Futures League in a little bit, which I'll give a major credit to the Futures League. Just like still the same stadium, stuff like that. I think what was different for me was throwing so close to a home crowd, where like Connecticut was pretty close, and even New Hampshire, there was a lot of people there. Like it honestly felt like when I walked down the mountain, there was like a roar, like it was an actual home game in the stadium, which was a very surreal feeling.
That's
unreal.
Yeah, that like put things into perspective real quick. But no, I mean, at that point when like you have so much outside stuff going on, where it's so important to stick to the routine and just kind of go by the timeline each day, like stretch at this time, make sure you throw at this time, get a number of pitches by then, and just trying to go through a checklist mentally of what you got to do to lead up to the start.
Is there anything your new team did to like welcome you on? Any like rituals they do for new pitchers or anything like that?
Yeah, most of those guys I played with in Brooklyn last year, and then the coaching staff is a combination from Brooklyn last year and Low-A Port St. Lucie as well. So going in, I knew a lot of those guys anyway. But still, being the new guy, you still gotta not get initiated, but like at the same time, like it's still a new environment, new culture you gotta get settled into.
Any rookie dinners or anything like that?
They did have me sing karaoke on a bus ride. That didn't go over well.
What was the song?
Yeah, what was the song?
Well, I had to go a cappella, which I'm not going to say what song it was, but I got booed off the stage, or booed off the bus.
That's tough.
That's tough.
I heard it. Isn't it if you get booed, you have to sing another song on top of that?
Was it Piano Man?
No, but it was like the old classic, and then I literally went like deer in headlights and just forgot the rest of the words, and I just got booed so hard. So at that point,
we've all
rightfully so.
We've all been there, not on a bus, but we've all been there.
Next time you.
Speaking of your new home, Binghamton. So I remember that I went to college with this girl who ended up working on the news station, and it's kind of like I would say East Bum, New York. Have you found anything fun to do there? On your off days, or maybe singing karaoke at your local pub?
I mean, I literally got here on Monday 2 weeks ago, and my phone broke. Like literally the moment I got to like the apartments all settled in, like my phone broke because the news just went public that I was going to Double-A. So like everybody was texting me. My phone was going crazy, where literally like my phone did not have enough storage for the text, and it just froze and shut down. And then literally the next day we were on a bus. So I didn't have a phone all day Tuesday. I had to go to the Apple store for like 2 hours on like a Wednesday to get it fixed. And then like we didn't get back in from New Hampshire till like 11 o'clock last night. So today was like my first full day at Binghamton. And I mean, I went to the stadium and threw a bullpen and lifted, so I still haven't really explored the area. I mean, I've been to the local Walmart. That's about it to get like groceries and supplies.
Fair enough. Yeah, got to get that done.
I always judge a Walmart based off how many Winnebagos are in the parking lot. So that next time you go, look how many there are there and give me a shout.
What's better, more or less?
More by far, more. I remember when I went to school up at Plymouth State, the Walmart in there was like at least like 15. I'm like, these people are awesome. There's just like a village in Walmart.
Yeah, they legally allow you to live there.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. Oh, it's great. My next question was going to be, what's kind of, have you grown fond about the most when it comes to minor league baseball? There's the bus rides. You just talked about, being local. Now some games, the fans, it's a whole lot different of, we all grow up, we all go to major league ballparks, we all kind of see how maybe it could be like. What is it like in minor league baseball in terms of, the fun stuff that, isn't even really about the game in general, but everything around it.
I think more of just like still being able to play a kid's game. It's nice to be able to wake up and realize like, oh wow, like I'm playing this at a professional level at a high professional level now. Like just still being able to play baseball as is, or just a sport in general is definitely like humbling. But I mean, still like a long day. I mean, our bus is like at 1 o'clock, gets to the field like 1:30, stretches at 2. And we're there till literally first pitch, like doing something or whatever. Then we just sit for 4 hours and watch a game. Then that game ends, and then it's like eat post-game spread. And sometimes we don't get back to the hotel, to our rooms till like 11:30. 10:30, 11:30.
So it's a lot more like a business, unlike college, where, maybe if you play a weekend doubleheader, it can be an all-day event, or even, high school is kind of after school. So it really is like this whole marathon thing of, you come in early, you get your work in, and then you kind of sit and lounge out. They even have things set up for you. There's a whole schedule of, when people are going to take IO, when people are going to throw their bullpens, when people are going to take BP, everything like that. It seems like it's more of a business type base than, your average college or high school game.
Even after with media and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you have
the amount of technology this for development, for just players to develop, is absolutely night and day. Like they carrying around equipment that's like a couple grand to like $40,000, like just to help us develop and stuff like that. And it's cool to see. Like, what was it? Yesterday we watched, or some of the guys, we all watched Colin Holderman make his MLB debut for the Mets.
Oh, nice.
And like a lot of those, and like we're on the training room watching it. Like he got his first strikeout. We're all excited because we found out earlier that day that he was getting the call up. So it was pretty cool to see. And then all of a sudden, like we were just checking the Mets score, and then all of a sudden, like, oh crap, like he's in. So like we all like quickly went to the laptop and like watched it live. So that was a really cool, surreal moment to see, where it's like a lot of the guys are starting to notice like starting time where like guys that you get drafted with or play with, like majority of them or like some of them are starting to make their MLB debut, or like they're almost there, which is kind of a crazy thing to put in perspective, especially after being like someone that like wasn't really around that stuff growing up, for like to now like see like, oh wow, it's so close. It's definitely really cool to see.
Yeah, and I feel like that must be on a weekly basis in most, minor league, at least Double-A, Triple-A clubhouses of, you're seeing this guy who you played with a year or two ago. I think that's really cool. And then in your instance, you're kind of coming from, low high A, where you haven't really been there before, and you're starting to kind of taste that and, kind of eating up a little bit. So it's really cool to see, you get to that moment where, this is a real possibility of, getting to that where you want to get to.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's definitely diving annex, but like the littlest things can make the biggest difference. And they really dive into like how you're moving and how much you're moving, how much force you're producing. Like you're better in this position compared to this. I know this feels more comfortable, but you're more powerful doing this. And it's so crazy how they break down like every little detail. And half the time too is like you're trying to adjust your body to it. And that's when it's like, if you can get used to it, then it can take you wonders. But if you're still struggling to get used to it, then it's like you're going to be there for a while.
And I know it's only been 2 weeks, but can you notice a difference in your like pitching style or power, or whether it be control since you started coaching, training with the coaches?
Yeah, a little bit. This off season compared to like last, I mean, I really started developing a changeup, just like getting a good feel for it, which is like still trying to build confidence and still getting like more consistent with it, especially at the Double-A level. Like it's so the guys that make the jump from Double-A to Triple-A or even Double-A to the bigs, it's like being able to have that plus changeup to go along with a fastball and a slider. It's being able to harness that third pitch in the strike zone consistently and just the usage of it.
Especially, I think if you're trying to if you're looking to start games, like you need 3 or 4 there to get past lineups 2 or 3 times around. You see in the MLB nowadays, not a lot of players in general get through 5 innings now because they can't even get through 2 guys 2 times in the lineup. It's crazy to see now that guys don't even go that deep in games anymore.
Like it's crazy to think about too. This will put in like for an example, Jacob deGrom throws 102, right? Mm-hmm. All you see is his highlights of him just blowing fastballs by everybody. He throws his fastball 40% of the time. That's it.
Yeah. and then everything else in between.
Just a filthy slider, filthy changeup, and whatever the hell else. Like, that guy's ridiculous.
That was gonna be more of my next question. So, how did spring training go? And you get an opportunity to see any of those guys? And Scherzer, maybe you were in the minor league camp, or if you had a stint there to see any of those guys with the big club.
Yeah, sometimes when the big league guys weren't traveling and the minor leaguers were having scrimmages, some of the big league guys would come down and take at bats. Like I was actually, I think, either a ball boy or bat boy for like one of the games, and a bunch of big league guys came down, like Cano, Nimmo, McNeil, Escobar, Marte. Like it was really cool to see those back and forth, and just like talk about hitting too. Like they caught on to some guys tipping their stuff just like so quick within like the first couple pitches, and then how they were able to like discover it too and make the adjustments was just a whole nother level of just like intelligence and knowledge that those guys have.
The other day, Max Scherzer didn't let the guy who's taking the first pitch throw it because he was late. What would you have done in that scenario?
Honestly, I'm the same way. I'm kind of ready to like go. Unless like, obviously if it's like rain, it's out of my control. Like I don't want to throw in the rain. Like nobody does. Yeah. Balls are slippery nowadays. So, but no, I mean, I don't know the full story behind it. Obviously people might think it's a bad look on Max, but if the odds weren't ready, then that's kind of tough then. Like, it's just a tough look all around in general. Like, it's no, like, win. It's just like a lose scenario. But, yeah, back to spring training. Like, other than those, like, the Mets guys, like, I was on the road for a Cardinals game one time. Like, some of our minor leaguers went to go play the Cardinals at their complex. And I threw, like, 3 innings. And literally all 3 innings, the first 2 hitters were Dylan Carlson and Yadier Molina.
Oh, geez.
Oh, so, yikes.
Both those guys 3 times.
Oh,
tough.
So, Yachty too, even though he's on like the almost 17th, 18th hole of his career. I'm sure he, is an absolute pro up there in terms of, you're talking about these guys picking up tipped, pitches all the time. I'm sure that, as a catcher, I think you couldn't get anything by, not you in general, but couldn't get anything by him in terms of tipping pitches. Yeah. Another in-thing scenario I'd like to hear. So if your team, and this could have been high school, this could have been college, this could have been right now. If you throw a no-hitter and your team lost 1-0, what would your reaction be? Because that happened yesterday. But if you didn't know.
It depends on like where we are in the season, where it's like, if we're pushing for the playoffs, like then yeah, I'm going to be upset. Mm-hmm. But it's like, if early in the season, then it's like, and I still throw a no-hitter, like yes, it's a cool accomplishment. Like, I did all the things I could, and it's like I did a good job of controlling the things that I could control. I mean, obviously you'd be a little frustrated if you lose, like that's the competitive side as is. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you don't want to focus on negatives, just focus on the positives and kind of build off from there. Like what did you do great that day? Like, okay, remember it, write it down, do what you gotta do, take a mental note, and then try to bring it back out again, because that's the harder part of that.
Doing it again when knowing maybe that could happen again. The whole mental aspect of the game is definitely I think the hardest part in any type of sport, but more importantly, baseball. I mean, at the point of where the career you're at, I think it's a lot of the mental game, especially when you're talking about coming up with these secondary pitches for strikes. I mean, if there's a game or something where you're leaving it up and you can't make an adjustment, it's really disheartening to swallow that, especially if you get burnt the hard way when someone gets a big hit, someone takes a ball 4 in a big spot. It's really tough to get past the mental game in baseball.
Yeah, and especially because there's so many games and stuff. Like you gotta bounce back like the next day or something if you're a position player.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah,
and that's a tough part too, of like especially in the minor league season where it's like you only pitch once a week versus these guys. We'll play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and have off every Monday. So it's like, as a starter, you only face these guys like once a week. So if you have a bad outing, like you got to sit on that for the rest of the week and then go back to do whatever. But no, that was kind of the story with my last outing. Like I couldn't locate my secondary stuff for strikes, so I got deeper into counts, and just like they hit the ball a little better. I lit up my first Double-A home run. I threw a fastball away, I mean, the guys kind of went with it, like tip of the cap. Like, it was a great pitch. It was literally on the outside border. And that just goes to show like how good these hitters are at this level. Like IA probably would have been able to get away with that. But like in Double-A, like I was throwing like back-to-back sliders, like 2-0, like 1-1, stuff like that. And like I was getting strikeouts and swings and misses. And that was kind of the difference where I wasn't able to locate my secondary stuff last outing. So that's kind of how like vital it is to do so.
I think I asked this question last time you were on the show, but I want to reiterate it to see what you say about it. So is there anything now, you're in Double-A ball with Binghamton, is there anything that you learned in your Curry Colonel days that you kind of bring to you on the diamond today?
Honestly, I feel like there's a few. There's always like have that chip on the shoulder, like be aware of the surroundings, stuff like that. Like Perdios would always preach, like, hey, like between each pitch, like think in your head, like, okay, like run a scenario, like what would happen or where do you got to be or in between batters, stuff like that. So it becomes like second nature. Because you never know the littlest thing where if you're not backing up a base, like that guy could take the extra base. And if you're not covering first base and that guy gets a hit now, and then all of a sudden you're in the hole. I mean, I feel like just that point too, just like being aware of the game in general. I think that's where like a lot of it I took from college and brought it with me to the next level. But obviously there's always more you can build off of that. But I think Curry gave me a great foundation for sure.
Sense of urgency, especially with the late night menu there at that dinner hall. Oh, great stuff.
Yeah.
My last question here, unless these guys have anything, obviously the ultimate prize is to get to the big show. What do you think you're going to have to continue to keep improving on to, get an opportunity, whether it's with the Mets or, with another ball club?
Yeah. Mostly just attacking the hitters, getting ahead early in the count, throwing all my stuff for strikes. I mean, hitting is already hard as is. It's normally in the pitcher's favor. But yeah, when you fall behind in counts and you're not throwing secondary stuff for strikes, all of a sudden the hitter is able to sit on one pitch and one pitch only. And it doesn't matter how hard you throw it. I mean, we've had guys throw 102 in our bullpen, and then we've had hitters literally pull 102, no problem at this level. So it goes to show it doesn't matter how hard you throw. If you're predictable, you will get hit. Prime example, that's why the Astros were so good in 2017, but that's the story.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Shout garbage barrels.
Shout out to Duff, yeah. Dave, do you guys got anything else? You guys good?
Who do you look up to for inspiration?
Well, that's a good one.
Who do I look up to? I mean, for inspiration as is, I mean, I definitely seem like my parents. I'm an only child. They've sacrificed a lot for me. Just probably like my family in general. So just like whenever I feel like I'm down or like just upset with a lot of stuff, like I look back and be like, okay, what did they all do? Like, it's not just in it for me. Like, yes, I can be hard on myself, but it's like I was upset with myself the other day with how my last outing went, but like everybody else was there, like, dude, like it's so crazy that like, you're there, like so proud, like it feels so surreal to watch you throwing like a Double-A mound. It's just like it kind of brings it back into perspective a little bit, trying to keep that even keel, like ride the highs, but also like know that the lows, like this will get better.
Yeah, I just think, just personally, growing up in the South Shore, there's high school kids, there's kids playing Division III. I think you're a huge inspiration for kids that, don't want to just end their senior year in college, don't want to just end their senior year in high school. They want better. And I think, I'm not even trying to suck up here, but I think you're a real inspiration for, any pitcher, any player who's trying to get in, MIA ball and, minor league or, try to keep it going, man. And, really appreciate everything you're doing.
I appreciate it. I mean, I've always told them, like, feel free to hit me up if you have questions and all that stuff. Because, like, that was the toughest thing for me trying to go through this was I never had the network to be able to, like, oh, I want to go train here, or, hey, what do you think about this? Like, it's just the development, like, baseball development programs in the South Shore within, like, the last 5 years has grown tremendously and gotten a lot better, too, which I hope that, like, that continues to go in the right direction, like throughout the years. I mean, we got some kids right now that are in high school and college right now that are probably going to get drafted within the next 5 years or so. And they're going to be some big name guys. So that's exciting. Oh,
and you're just proving to a point of, there's a lot of people who get drafted around here, but they don't make it past Single-A. And the fact you went undrafted, you went Division III, and you're to where you are right now, just speaks to how much work you've put in, man. That's awesome.
I appreciate it, boys. Thank you.
No problem. Last thing I wanted to bring up, it's a hot topic. Celtics in 4 or Celtics in 7?
5 because, I mean, we know Jimmy Butler is going to have a game where he's going to just defend Jason Tatum like a madman. And it's going to be like one of those things where somebody's just not going to step up at the right time. I mean, I still think Celtics in 5, honestly. Like,
nice.
I was watching that game on the bus, and I was so fired up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. That second, I was going nuts.
The Grant Williams.
I was trying to, like, so we took 2 buses back to Binghamton, and I didn't even realize it. I was one of, like, the only Americans on this one bus, and the rest of them were like, the Latins. Like, like, I'm all excited. They're all looking at me, and I'm like, oh, like, and I, like, show my phone. They're like, oh.
yeah. What the hell is that guy doing?
Jason Tatum's Dominican.
Yeah. Kind of, right?
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Dave, appreciate you taking the time, man, and we'll be watching your journey, man. Best of luck. And you know what? If I'm in the Manchester area, well, you're playing the Fisher Cats again, man. I'll have to stop by.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think we're playing in Manchester the rest of this year. I mean, okay. I do go third, and then we do have a Sea Dogs game. I think like Labor Day.
Ooh, Portland. They can get get down.
Okay.
Last time we played there, there was a lot of spicy stuff. I don't know if you saw that brawl.
Yep. Oh, I remember seeing that. Okay, so that was against Brooklyn there. Okay.
It was Binghamton. It was Binghamton, So that was part of the reason I think I got the call up was because one of our starting pitchers went down. So he ended up tearing his ACL. So I mean, it's always sucks to see a guy get injured like that and be out for the year. But I mean, just gotta take the opportunity and kind of try to do the best you can with it.
Yeah, that's what Tom Brady did. So yeah,
of course, yeah, exactly.
Keep working. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
12 did. I'll be satisfied.
For sure, man. For sure. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks.
Guys, have a good one.
Have a good one.
2022 is here. Do you have your resolution? Here's an idea. Make your way down to Slight Edge Fitness and Performance located in Braintree, Mass. Owned and operated by Coach Craig Kelly, you can be assured you are getting the best training around. Whether looking to improve your health or gain a slight edge on your competition, this is the gym for you. Group fitness classes as well as personalized one-on-one training are both available. Make sure to visit slightedgefit.com as well as follow them on Instagram at Slight Edge Fitness and set up a consultation today. It's time to get fit, so let it rip.
And that was Hanover native Dave Griffin. Now it's unbelievable his story, man, from going from a Division III guy to making it all the way to Double-A right now. Just really, I said it at the end of the interview, just a real inspiration to all the kids around here in the South Shore, trying to get to a point in their baseball career where they want to be.
Yeah, wild stuff. Straight out of Curry College.
Straight
out
of Milton.
Yeah, Milton Tough.
Yeah, hashtag Milton Tough. I was going to say that. Great stuff. So we'll lead on to a more brighter part as, we've been talking Celtics Bruins for the past couple weeks. The Celtics get the job done yesterday, Sunday, in Game 7 with a 109-81 W. Game 7 win. I called Game 7 win. I called it.
Sick.
Yeah, that's fine.
Unreal.
Star of the game, Grant Williams. Well, no, I called the beginning of the series, but that's fine.
So did half the city. You changed nothing, dude.
Yeah, Grant Williams was the underroll catalyst of the game with 7 for 18 from three-point line. Led the team with 27 points. Jason Tatum was great in a role that, we haven't really seen from him too much. He's more of the top point getter. Instead, he was the facilitator. He was the rebounder. He was the playmaker. He was everything.
All over the place.
And it's great to see them move on because that would have been really disappointing after being up by that much in Game 5 and really blowing it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, that series should have already been bagged up.
Yeah, and if we went 0 for 2 on Game 7s of the weekend, I think that beard would have had to go still. What do you think, Magic?
I think no, but it would have been a tough look for the city of Boston for sure.
A dark weekend indeed.
It would have definitely shown that we're just not like we used to be.
Yeah.
We don't have it like we used to have it.
Like I think it was and like Grant Williams, I mean, he tied like the record for most threes in a Game 7, which is nuts. It's going to be a great trivia question.
Is he a big 3 guy?
He's worked his way, so he wasn't, and now he's just becoming.
The end of that game, it just seemed like 3 It was raining threes.
Giannis ran out of gas. I feel
Yeah.
bad for him. He gave everything he had, man. He had 25 and 20 rebounds with 9 assists. He almost had a triple-double in the first quarter.
Yeah, no, he's crazy because like they played such good defense, and you think he's having like a bad game, and then like his stat line shows up,
And then no
it's
one-
just like he's got like 30, 20, and fucking.
No one showed up for them either. Like Drew Holiday again played good on defense. Brook Lopez actually probably played his best game of the series. But then everyone else was just suspect, man, when it comes to Wesley Matthews. Grayson Allen was garbage the whole series. Bobby Portis didn't show up. Pat Connaughton was too busy in Arlington. Whatever
Loser.
girl he was dating that night, he probably got to the pub. Later
I was
that night.
also like, and even like on our side, like, dude, I was ready to punch out the fucking TV with Derek White. Like, dude, he went like 1 for 9 from 3-pointers.
during the
Like, just stop it, dude.
during the halftime, they had Stephen A. Smith on the mic. He was just like, "Yo, it's not your night, Derek. Just stop shooting." And the next time he shot, he nailed one. But he was 1 for 10 with
Yeah. Oh,
3 points.
and none of them were close.
Yeah, the first half, it was looking like we were gonna have a fucking shootout.
It was up and down, but you know what? The Celtics weren't shooting well, and you're like, you know what? If they can shoot, half as better as they did in the first half, they can have no problem taking care of
That's
business.
true.
Yeah, I mean, what was
And
it
that's
like?
what happened.
What was it like? I think like over the like series, we made like 70 more 3-pointers than they did, or some shit like that.
It was
some crazy number.
So they were 22 for 55 last night. The Celtics were from 3. The Milwaukee Bucks were 4 for 33.
Yuck.
That's the difference in the game.
Yeah.
You're talking about 66 to 12 in points in 3-point.
You
points.
can't win.
No, yeah, you don't
shoot
do
it
that.
4 for 30.
Especially when your star is just getting 2. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Giannis isn't, like, I mean, the Bucks, like, aren't built to, like, come back. They're built to, like, hold you down and, like, take the lead. Like,
Oh yeah,
they're not,
and,
like,
and my boy PP came to play. He knocks down some big time shots.
Good energy.
He said
for
that's
that.
what he said. That's what I do.
He's got good energy.
That's my
that
guy.
fucking
he does. He hits some big boards, too, which is, like,
Oh yeah,
you know, I mean,
He's
that's
flying around.
dude. If you're not tall, you got to be quick, and that's what he is.
He
very
is
quick. Oregon Duck. Love
Great
it.
to see. Jalen Brown coming in, playing well. Al Horford was probably, not his best game in Game 7, but probably the MVP of this series because, you expected a lot out of Jason Tatum. You expected a decent amount out of Jalen Brown. And don't get me wrong, Grant Williams stole Game 7. That was a Kelly Olynyk game for Grant Williams. But
Can we just shout out Showtime right now, putting in this monster fucking.
Yeah, Showtime. Yeah, this industrial fucking air conditioning.
look at those pythons.
You might wonder what Showtime's been doing. He's putting in ACs. He's getting tatted.
I got here, it looked like he was just in a swamp or something, just how hot it is out there. Thank God we got the AC in house right now.
I mean, this thing is a monster AC.
That thing's got to weigh 200 pounds.
Your girl's at home wishing like, Johnny, will you put the AC in? We're
Yeah.
fucking toasting here, and AC's just doing it for the boys.
Showtime gets to skip out on Planet Fitness tonight.
For sure.
That's good. So great win for the Celtics. Moving on to play the Miami Heat. It begins Tuesday night on the road, 8:30 start. Steele, take it away. What do you think of the Eastern Conference Finals?
The Eastern Conference Finals. I like our chances. I think they have less of a pedigree than the Bucks. I do think Eric Spoelstra is like a better coach, so they're gonna be a bit more prepared. But and I don't know, Jimmy Butler. Like Jimmy Butler's scary because he's all around. He's a big time player, hits big shots. Like he's probably gonna hit a buzzer beater in like 1 or 2 of the games.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a bad man.
Yeah.
Bottom line, he's a bad man.
So I don't know. We'll see.
They're a very deep team. I think people are saying the winner of the Celtics and Bucks, they're gonna like go to the finals. I think that's like, after thinking about it a lot, I think that's up for discussion because I think the Heat are just as deep as the Celtics. They play a lot, mistake-free basketball like the Celtics. They play team basketball. They run 8 or 9 guys. They have Hero and Victor Oladipo. Duncan Robinson barely plays for them right now because he can't play defense.
Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry. He won't be playing tomorrow night, but Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, guys are gonna have to come up big again. Both Williamses, Robert Williams, who hasn't really played too much this playoffs just because he's been injured. This is gonna be the series he has going to show up because the reason why they didn't beat this team in the bubble 2 years ago is because of the big mans.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't have Al, they didn't have Rob Williams, they didn't have Grant Williams. So now they have those guys. I matching up against Bam Adebayo because Bam Adebayo was the difference in the series when they lost the 6 in the bubble. So,
And our guys we did, even though like the stats are obviously like still skewed just because that's how good Giannis is, but we did like a pretty good job of stopping Giannis.
did a great job.
So like
You can only
fuck Bam Adebayo.
I feel like
You know what I mean?
people are pretty confident going into this one.
I'm very confident. I think they're going to take care of business, but I think it's going to be harder than you think. I think that when Kyle Lowry comes back, he's usually a Celtics killer.
Yeah.
So I think that's another guy who could really own you if you make it happen. Marcus Smart, he'll probably play tomorrow night, but he had like a fractured foot or something after last night's game.
I don't think it was a fracture, but it was a sprain or something.
It was a
like
sprain. I'm gonna go, with them on the road. I got the Celtics at least stealing one on the road, taking two there, and then I got the Celtics in 6, winning the 6th game at the TD Garden. I just think, I think this is Celtics' year. I think they can get it done. I think they can go to the finals and match up against any team that's going to be in the finals there. Obviously, on the other end, big shout out to what Luka Doncic and those boys did last night. I mean, by 40 points, unbelievable. Luka Doncic is the most talented guy in the playoffs, I think, no doubt.
Also, Chris Paul's an all-time loser. That guy fucking sucks.
Yeah, if you hear that Pat Beverly shit today, though, he's an asshole. But.
Pat Beverly's also a loser, but at least he's a hater. That's better. That's better. He saw his opportunity.
What did he say?
Oh, just good. He was like, they should have benched Chris Paul. Like
he's trash. Like he doesn't deserve anything. He's a borderline Hall of Famer. I'm like, you are so dumb.
I loved that. That guy saw his opportunity to strike and was like, put me on first take.
But then
do it. I want it in the morning.
Matt Barnes like put him down in the afternoon. I saw that. Matt Barnes was just like, yeah, this clown showed up. The only thing he didn't have was like one of those red clown noses.
Yeah, that's fine. Matt Barnes, fuck you. Like I would just keep running with it if I was Matt Barnes.
Yeah, he was too much. But going back to the Celtics situation, I think they're sitting in a really good spot. They got past, I think, 2 of the most talented teams in the playoffs. Now you're playing a team that's very similar to you. We'll see how this goes because they got by a really good defending champion. I keep comparing it back to the bubble in the Toronto Raptors 2 years ago, and you thought, oh, all roads lead to the finals, and they came up short against the same team they're playing now in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I think they just need to take it one game at a time like they've been doing.
At least, like if we do, like, any game we lose, like, I hope it's Jimmy Butler that kills us. Like Tyler Herro, dude, that was awful. Yeah. I do not want to watch that again.
I just can't believe they're not playing Robinson. I can't believe they're not playing Duncan Robinson. He's too good of a shooter not to play. He's literally playing he's getting DNPs. He's getting played 4 minutes in Game 6 there in the close-up.
But he is like if he's like cold, like he's useless. Like he has no business playing. So I don't know.
Sound like a jackass. He's on the Heat, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Hey, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
I didn't know.
Keep it together.
Who's our big man that's
Rob Williams.
He's playing in this series?
He'll be playing in this series.
Should be,
they said no minute restrictions. He should be good to go, and they need him against a bad man like Bam Adebayo there in the 5 for the Heat.
Yeah, that's going to be a big battle.
I think another guy to look at, too, just, looking at rosters here, I think Victor Oladipo is a real, under-the-radar type of guy who used to demolish the Celtics.
Oh, yeah, he can steal your game.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, he can take a game over. He can drop 30. It's still there.
These guys, I guess I'm going to get, a new seeing them for the first time because I don't know too much about this Struss guy, Vincent, or, PJ Tucker has been great. PJ Tucker's been on every championship team the last 5 years.
PJ.
So I'm actually a little bit scared of that. Scared of that.
Good luck's on their side.
Yeah.
It's bad.
I'm excited to watch them. Know nothing about this Heat team.
No,
I just keep hearing they're deep, they're good. They got a bunch of guys I do know. I know all the names you're naming, but I just have not seen them play.
Well,
together.
Tatum Butler is going to be awesome.
I love Jimmy.
That's
I'm a big Jimmy Butler guy.
How about Smart Butler?
That's on war too.
I want some fights.
They'll throw stuff at him.
Thrown. Over under on half of how many games James Nazz gets to.
Got to be at least 3.
How many does he stay?
The over under should be how many pitches he's gonna take at the game, and that's at least 79 over under.
Yeah.
Over. Yeah.
Hammer the over.
Hammer.
How many smoke shows? Does he have enough smoke shows to line up for one new one every
I don't know.
game?
He said he was.
Is he in love?
I doubt it. I was talking to him today. He lives right down the street from the arena. So
he's got to be at least 2 games. He's got to be going to.
Yeah, I don't think he goes to any. That's my take.
Really?
Upset of the century.
Why? Not a basketball guy?
Yeah, he's a loser.
If it's a big game, like Game 5, Game 7, he'll be there. He'll be in the building for that.
I've been trying to make the whole time, too, now that the series is over, it's just a whole video, combination of the Antetokounmpo brother, and then just put the and like on the VO, like the voiceover, just that song like cheerleader, like ooh, I found myself.
Yeah, he is
I
just a
think that'd be
cheerleader.
good.
Yeah.
I think that would really fuck him up.
That was like, like when they threw him in at the end of Game 7, I was like, wow, that's fucking
No, did you
hilarious.
see what he did too? It was the dribble out, like the firm handshakes, like after the series over, and he's playing like balls to the walls defense. Buddy, you're down 25 with fucking 30 seconds to go. Fucking let the guy dribble out it, and then you guys dribble out, and then that's the game. All right, buddy. Or you know what? Get back in your jumper and go cheer on
Yeah,
some
just go
other
to the
team.
locker room, dude,
You
yeah.
know what? I think the Heat are looking for a cheerleader. Maybe you can do that.
That'd be a great
Yeah.
bandwagon move.
Yeah,
'Cause that is like a
but
bandwagon
he's
for
just
in the
like-
Miami.
he's
team.
just
Drake
like,
move.
He's just
Yeah.
like in the stands from now on, though. He's like, hey guys, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Should be some good stars in Miami. I bet.
Do you guys-
Miami's hot in the streets. So Game 7, we had everyone in the fucking crowd for us.
Oh yeah.
Paul Pierce sitting beside Robert Kraft.
With
Love
that kind of fucking
Hank Perez had it all going.
Hank Press, Team Hank on the fucking billboard, the fucking what,
Yeah.
Jumbotron, yeah.
Unbelievable, honestly. Hank just batting 1,000 since his little fucking scandal he's
It's
going
great to
through.
see.
That's a Steele and Nazz guy.
Yeah, we might have to check in with him.
I doubt he wants to talk about that, but yeah, there's plenty of big things to talk about if he wants to come back on.
Oh yeah, great stuff. So you guys make your predictions? I said Celtics in 6. No,
5.
5. I said
You
I
said
said 6.
6.
I said 6.
I'm saying 5.
I'll go 7.
Jimmy Butler
I'll
steals
go
one.
7.
They're gonna close it out in Miami.
Yeah. I don't know. Everyone's saying Celtics in 5, so I don't like that.
Here's a good like magic conclusion question. Who do you think out of the team of the Celtics is most likely to be hungover for a game because they rock it too hard in South Beach?
No one on this
and
team.
they go chill with Captain Vic.
This isn't a team that's going to be getting in that kind of mix. If it was the Sixers, well, yeah, I bet the Sixers, Harden was out and about.
Okay, so the question is who's most likely. Doesn't mean they're going to
Okay.
do it. It has to be one of the guys who never plays because, like, if I'm like I'm sure you don't know any of the names, and I don't either without seeing this. But I think like a guy like Sam Hauser or like the guy Malik Fitz who popped his shoulder out yesterday and then nailed the 3. That guy could get fucked up all weekend. It doesn't even matter.
I was when I was watching it, like at the end of the game, like it got to that point, and I was literally just like looked at the people I was with. I was like, I don't have a single clue who any of these fucking people are.
No,
I was
that's
like,
what
I was like, I've never seen any of these people.
And
before
knock
in my
on wood,
life.
like if they ever do like win the title, like you go back and you look at how they've made like the 1986 team. They made a documentary. They made like a 2008 team. And then the 2008 team, like everyone kind of played except for Scal. And now everyone knows Scal now because he's a commentary guy and everything. So you didn't really not know anyone. Imagine if they win and then like only like 7 guys really talk because like the other half like didn't even play.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Legit, none of those dudes are bringing bells.
Like there's a guy on the team named Matt Ryan. Like who the fuck
No,
is that
there's
guy?
not. No, there's not.
From Chattanooga, 6'7" rookie. Actually, no, 25 years old. I don't know if he's a rookie or not, but that's interesting to see.
Well, hopefully they don't need. Maybe they need those guys. Maybe we're gonna get to know them this series. I doubt it, but
I would hold your breath on that.
Nah, I hope so because that means we're up by a billion.
The only one who I would even like realistically think about playing, and this is only if injuries happen, is the guy Luke Cornett, and that's just because he's like 7'2". So like, just say if like Rob Williams, Daniel Tice, they both go down, like he might have to play.
Yeah,
That's
fair.
about it. That's about it.
That guy might be my pick for the most likely to get fucked up. Though.
Yeah, 7'2".
Looking at that guy,
little
yeah, that
body.
guy looks like he could absolutely get crushed.
as in like at the strip club.
Yeah.
All right, that's my pick then.
Okay, that's your pick. Mine's
guy.
Malik Fitz. I think Malik Fitz is gonna get fucked up there. Probably tonight.
They're too dialed. I just don't. They're not doing that.
They don't need to be the bench guys do not need to be dialed in. They
They do.
just need to be cheerleaders.
You know how a
They just
locker
need to
room
be
is.
cheerleaders.
I'd be pissed if my guys were coming in for the Eastern Conference Finals Game 1 and they were like talking about the strip club. I mean, that's something.
All right, you don't talk about
Tatum
it.
would
You just be about
Tatum
it.
would
If
literally be
Luke
like, "Get
Cornett-
out of here, Magic! You're off the team."
If Luke Cornett didn't show up, there'd be like 6 people that noticed. Like no one would give a fuck, dude.
That's even what, man. I feel bad for
Matt Ryan, dude. That guy probably can't even get to the game half the time.
That's what I mean. Like these guys are gonna.
Just sit and get their game get there early so like the guys know you're in there. Like, oh, good to see Matt Ryan here today.
Dave Westman probably has better access getting into the post-game presser than Matt Ryan does.
If Dave Westerman was on the team, I guarantee he'd be getting mangled.
Oh, I mean,
Shout out to Wes. He's he's back stateside.
Oh,
he's
back
somewhere
stateside.
around these days.
Seen him at Water Club.
we'll have to get him in for a
Did
call.
you?
Oh, he
Yeah.
must have been reckless.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on.
Correct.
Speaking of the recklessness, the Bruins unfortunately dropped. They were the bad part of the Game 7. Dropped a 4-3 series and a 3-2 L in Raleigh Saturday night. Possibly Patrice Bergeron's last game of his career. Just instant thoughts of the game still. I'll let you lead off.
Incredibly sad, a frustrating series. It definitely it does not look good on the Patrice Bergeron front, especially due to just you have to completely overhaul the offense of that team. The bottom two lines they just need everything to change.
Yeah, it's crazy because we talk about as Patriots fans all the time. We don't know what it is not winning championships all the time. We don't know really as a hockey team too much what it takes to really rebuild. I mean, there's a couple of years where you were one and done like you were this year, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're rebuilding. And I think to a point here, I think Bergeron's going to call it quits. He said today in the presser that he's not going to go to any other team, which is not surprising at all.
No, not one bit.
But yeah, no, it's going to be tough turnover here. Going back to the game, they had their chances, man. They had their chances. I think
Charlie fucking Coyle.
Yeah,
man. Put it away.
I will say it came down to
Awful.
It came down to 10 penalty minutes in the first 21 minutes, cost you 2 goals. Go down 2, not in the crapshoot. Got one back. And then you know what? You made an interesting third period. I'll give them credit for that. If I haven't given them credit at all, they left it all on the ice in third
yeah, they
period.
tried.
I realize Charlie Coyle, he should have probably scored that, but you had plenty. You gave yourself plenty of opportunities. I think you dominated the Hurricanes in the third period. There, you were close enough. You had 20. You scored with 21 seconds left, and you made them really, prairie dog the last 20 seconds to pull it out. Let's give credit where credit's due, though. The Hurricanes, I think, were the better team.
Great team.
I
Better
think
team
that-
at home.
I think they have a good route to getting to the cup here with they're playing the Rangers now.
I mean, that's the worst part. It's we would have smacked the Rangers.
Yeah, and that stinks. It's tough to swallow.
And if the
Fact.
Rangers didn't win, then we would have smacked the Penguins.
Yeah, I think the winner is going to the cup is that Florida matchup there, the Panthers and the Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
Now that because breaking news if you didn't know, the Maple Leafs went home again in the first round.
That was my lock of the week. Hope you followed it.
Yeah.
Hope you followed it.
Unfortunately, the Hurricanes were my lock of the week. Pat Foley's got to step his game up. I'm sorry, this laying down the law shit is going one way.
Yeah, it's a tough scene. Tough scene.
I can't remember. Did I pick the Celtics? Or
You picked the Celtics in Game 6. You're good.
Yep.
You're good.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Stahl was unbelievable in that series. Gave Bergeron everything he had every time they were out there. Ronto was did very good in them, especially in that Game 7. He had made a lot of big stops.
I think defensively, there's a lot of, encouraging stuff for the future in terms of McAvoy, Lindholm. You got Carlo for another year or two. I even think Riley played pretty good hockey and Forbot. Here and there. And then Clifton's a hit or miss. I'm just glad you got Grizzly out of the lineup. And Jeremy Swayman played as well as he could, I think, in my opinion.
The goal. I mean, both of the goalies were fine. I mean, there was only I think Swayman let in one that was buddy, save that.
Yeah, and
but everything else was.
I didn't have
whatever.
too many complaints offensively
live with
besides.
Yeah.
The only guy who was on my shit list was Craig Smith. I just don't think he's really brought anything to the table the last half of the season. The Foligno signing ends up being a disappointment. Taylor Hall, I think played as good as he could for not really having too much help on the second line all year, besides when they mixed in Pasternak.
Yeah, Holland came on very strong when they moved him up the second line.
Yeah, I thought he was one. He ended up being one of the most underrated second line centermen in all of the NHL.
Because when he's the first half of the year, that guy was useless. Mm-hmm. He didn't help us at all. But then they moved him up and he became amazing.
And then you know what too, we're singing glass half full here, and I like that. Of the biggest bitch on the team, which is Jacob DeBrusk. He ended up having a really good back half of the season.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think obviously him playing with the first line really helped him out, but it was good to see there. And then Charlie Coyle's a hit or miss. It was a complete miss in Game 7, but you know what? He stepped up in some big times this year, including that game 3 there when they were down 2-0, where they could have went down 3-0. But, they got that shorthanded goal there with him and DeBrusque, and then got things going. So I don't have him completely on my shit list outside of he won't come on the podcast unless we pay him.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I think that series, if anyone was on my shit list, it might be Carlo. I think Carlo was like a minus, like 10. Like, I think he was on the ice for, like, he just had a tough series. Grizzlick was hurt, which came out, and that definitely affected him a little bit. He's a little shaky, too, but I think it was a dislocated shoulder he was playing with. And, I mean, that's going to fucking throw you off. Like,
For sure.
That's a tough one to fight through.
Yeah, before we wrap it up, after one round, who are you looking as your Stanley Cup favorite? Like, what bandwagon should we hop on now?
Avalanche. Like, I think the Avalanche are going to win it all.
Okay.
The biggest, though, is, like, the big series happening right now, though, is definitely the Battle of Alberta.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
Unbelievable. I was going to
Alberta?
say,
Yeah, it's Calgary, Edmonton. Like, that's like the West Coast. Like, that's that's Bruins, Canadians, but like Western Canada's version of it.
Gotcha.
Like, that's a
gonna
huge
be sick.
rivalry. That's going to be
John-
awesome.
Having the Battle of Florida going on. I like it.
Johnny Hockey, Johnny Gaudreau, former BC alum, scored the game winner in Game 7 last night for Calgary to move on. Calgary is my bandwagon team now. I'm going to be rooting for them heavily. Fuck Connor McDavid. Fuck that.
Shout out that Stars goalie. He deserved better. That dude had like 70 saves in that
And
game.
then he let up. That was you could have. What do you think? Did you see that goal on?
I
Like,
did.
Gaudreau?
I did, but I didn't see like the slow motion replay. I just saw the like. In
Yeah,
full
was
speed.
it a
I don't even
sniper
know
or
what
was
happened.
was it kind of a tough
It
one?
looked like a tough one, but I'm not sure. I didn't see the slow motion of it.
Yes.
Who's Colorado playing?
Colorado was playing the Blues. The Blues are a pretty underrated team, but Colorado's been the best team in the entire NHL all year.
Yeah,
So you got that
fuck
there.
Jordan Binnington. So like, go Avs.
Yeah, I'm pretty uninterested in the Eastern Conference playoffs right now, though, I'll be honest.
Oh, 100%.
I'm more
You want nothing with that Panthers Lightning series?
no.
I'll watch a bit of that.
Fuck both those
I'll watch a
teams.
bit of that. I will not watch a second of Rangers.
And
Hurricanes.
fuck the
Could care
Rangers,
less,
and
yeah.
I hate the Hurricanes just because they beat the Bruins.
Yeah,
so.
like I won't watch a second. of
I'm
that
on the
team.
Lightning bandwagon, obviously. I'm not even really a bandwagon, actually. Just been with
You're a
them.
Tampa
Been
guy.
with them
You're a
all
Tampa guy.
this whole time. Was rooting for them. Still am.
They
Glad they took care of business against Toronto.
They did make me. They like when I was down and out on Saturday. Like seeing Maple Leaf Square sadder than me. Like helped me
That was
back up
great.
a little bit.
That-
That was big.
That's honestly, unless the Bruins win the cup, that's the best thing about the NHL playoffs every single year. Just that whole Toronto, everyone's just in shambles.
Yeah.
Like you knew
They got to get it together.
once they were up 3-2 and they were just like, we got this, we're going to the cup. Like it's like, you guys are done. You guys are playing probably the best team of this decade. Well, no, definitely the best team of this decade. And you guys are getting cocky, so you guys are done.
Beautiful sight. One of the best sights in all of sports.
Yeah.
Seeing Maple Leaf Square flood out. Beautiful.
Anything else going on, guys, before we wrap up?
Great first weekend of good weather.
Actually, yeah, you had brought up during the Griffin interview the losing the no hitter thing.
Yeah.
Alex Loud did that when we were in travel, like 15. Like he threw a no hitter and we lost, like 1-0.
That's tough. I just
I like just thought.
I'd
of
probably
that.
cuss out everyone and just run home.
Yeah, it was a tough scene.
Wait, you threw a no-hitter and you lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1-0.
When did he? What was the hit? Oh, was it walks?
Yeah, it must
Yeah,
be walk
or like whatever the fuck. I don't know.
whatever,
That's horrendous.
whatever it takes, right?
Yeah, tough.
I'll shout out the Lights Out Lang fight since
Oh, you have to.
I got to shout.
Oh
that
yeah,
out. Big tilt
tit-
Friday.
big tit booty,
Big
pussy
dick
ass.
booty daddy, whatever.
Yeah, that guy's getting shelled, dude. Fucking
Yeah.
lights out and 1.
Yeah, let's go.
Excited, very excited.
I'd like to see him knock him out. I'd like to see him knock.
I'd like a
him
nice
knockout.
clean knockout. Yeah, maybe. an
I
uppercut.
hope.
That
to-
would be huge for.
I hope too, because we got a lot of motion like at this table right now for like probably that guy because we don't like him at all. I hope Lights Out Lang doesn't wear the emotions on his sleeve and keeps it strictly business because Lights Out Lang is so much better than this guy.
He
so
will.
much better.
I think he will.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's said everything to possibly get him
Has this guy fought, like, how many fights does he have?
He's 2-0.
He's 2-0 with 2 pretty good knockouts, but as
fought
Lang said, he's fought heroin addicts.
Heroin addicts. Crack addicts.
Well,
ketamine addicts.
Some of those rough and rowdy fights, you are not fighting a pristine boxer.
He definitely hasn't fought any like rough and rowdy notables at all. Like,
he should have had to fight Mike live before he had to step in.
Like Lights Out Lang's gone through the guy who's weighed 350 pounds. He's fought an NFL player. He's fought like ex-military guys. Who big dick booty daddy's beaten? I don't know.
The fact you have that name down is like I'm impressed. I was gonna use a couple other words, but I don't want to use that profanity on this mic here.
Well, if he loses, I'll come up with a new nickname for that. Well, no, he won't. He actually will go into oblivion.
Does it anger you that you didn't come up with that?
A little bit, yeah. It's better than Magic Mike, maybe, but no, it's a tool name. The guy's a tool. He's gonna get tooled up. Make sure you guys are buying that fight or figuring out how to illegally stream it. Friday night.
Folks,
Friday night.
Folks, want to thank you for tuning in. The Hedge Better making this all possible. Big shout out to Slight Edge Fitness and Performance in Braintree, along with the law offices of Patrick J. Foley. Get a pick this week. Get it in. Get it done. Don't jinx anyone, all right? Love you, Pat.
Pick the Heat.
Pick the
fucking Heat, Pat. Game 1.
Yeah. That's all, folks. We'll see you next time. Episode 79. Yep.